All right, hey everybody, we are back. Oh, we are way too loud. Hold on, we got to turn this mic volume down. How do we do that? We are way too hot. How's that coming in? There we go. I think that's better. All right, so we are back. We are doing another podcast, and I'm actually wearing my podcast headset. I haven't worn this to do a podcast in, God, it's getting close to a year. 6 months, 9 months, 10 months, somewhere in there. So, but you will be watching this through my dash cam footage. You will be seeing as, I believe, I don't know which one. I've got some hurricane footage from when I went out and hunted out with Robert, and I drove through most of central Georgia and showed how bad that hurricane had come through there and wrecked so much. And then I have footage on my way out to my Midwest trip. And I have footage coming home from that. I have some footage. I got a whole bunch of footage. So I don't know what you're going to be seeing from where. But right now, we are currently on our way home from our Midwest hunting trip. It was fantastic. We'll talk more about it. But we are going to dive into today an important topic for those of you that are looking to buy a new hunting truck right now. It is important because it is a timing issue. So we're going to dive into that. When it comes to these trucks, here's the deal. Right now, we are in a very unique situation that we have not been into since pre-pandemic times. And it's with all manufacturers, doesn't matter who makes it. But if you follow my other channel, you see the deal videos that I've been putting out. Okay, I've been putting them out all through October and into November. I have been pumping these things out on almost every truck brand out there for you to know what's possible and what you can get. We are in a unique time in the sense that we have over 3 million vehicles in inventory on lots. Okay, we haven't had that in almost a decade. Okay, I mean, it usually hovered right around half that, like 1.5, 2, somewhere in there, but we have got 3 million new vehicles in inventory on lots. See, manufacturers expected people to keep buying and buying at these high prices and keep buying and buying. And for the last 18 months, people have basically said, no, we're done. We can't do it. We're still upside down in our loans from when you screwed us during the pandemic and the supply shortages. The interest rates are still way too high. We played that game before. We're not doing it anymore. We're 1 in 5 people right now. 1 in 5 vehicles, people that own vehicles, are upside down. 22% of those 1 in 5 are upside down $10,000 to $15,000. It is ugly times for most people out there. And car manufacturers just thought people keep doing it. Keep doing it. Look at Tacoma. Okay, the price went up $15,000 for the same Tacoma from 2023 to 2024. The Tundra, when they switched it in 2022, went up $10,000. These manufacturers think they can keep pushing these. Ram trucks went up tremendously. Ford trucks went up tremendously. Jeep went up astronomically, 29% or 31%, I think it was, for the Jeep Wrangler, and almost 40% increase for the Gladiator. Okay, and nobody bought them. So now you can get $20,000 off a Gladiator real easy because they're just rotting on lots. Nobody's buying them because the dealerships and manufacturers got too greedy. And that's working now to our advantage. Okay, prices will start coming down slowly over the next couple of years. They'll trickle down MSRPs, we thought, but manufacturers are actually playing a much different game. What they're actually doing is they are dropping MSRPs a little bit, but they're cutting stuff out. Like Ford F-250, Ford in the Ford F-Series lineup, XLT was always cloth seats, key start, simple. Okay, not even as low as an XL or an STX, but XLT was the working man's one with just the stuff you need, the stuff that, nothing you don't. You wanted leather seats, you went to the Lariat. The Lariat was where you got leather seats, and then you went up from there. Well, in 2025, they lowered the price of the F-250 Lariat, but they cut out almost so much stuff that it's now an XLT. You don't even get the leather seats. You get vinyl seats in it now. They're marine-grade vinyl, but they're vinyl seats. You don't actually even get leather seats in a Lariat. So manufacturers are playing a lot of weird games. Ford Super Duty had cut out the Dana Super 60, and now it's like a Dana Standard 50 axles. You no longer get the option of the Torsen front end on a lot of them standard. You got to option it in now. They've done so many games. And it's getting real messy and hard to understand. 2025, when you buy a new truck in 2025, model year or newer, you will get less vehicle than you did in 2024. Okay, pretty much across the board for all of them, for the most part. Some may be a little different, like if you go with the Frontier, the Nissan Frontier, you will get more, but you're also going to pay $3,800 more than you did for a 2024 to get those options, okay? They're automatically included, so you don't get the option to opt out of them, but they're charging you more. So these are things we got to consider. But point being, 2024s, in all brands, there's a whole bunch of them on the lot right now. Every one of them is significantly reduced and can be reduced and negotiated much better. Understand it's, again, remember, I've been running a truck channel now for, I've been running that Samco channel for 2 years, and for last year, it has been nonstop truck stuff. I live, eat, and breathe truck stuff. So 3 videos every single day on that channel. I pay attention to everything. So like I said, this stuff is all right there for me. Right now, in the third quarter of 2024, the prices, or the average rebate that was given on a vehicle was 7.7% across the board. 7.7%. So let's just round it and call it 7%, or call it 8%. That means that every vehicle out there, the average, the minimum you should expect to get off is 8% off of any MSRP on any vehicle you're looking at. And that is what we call minimum. Okay, minimum of 8%. So that means that in reality, when you're starting to look at these things, 10% should be what you would consider a minimum, preferably more in the neighborhood of 20%. All right, now it'd be worth your while to go check out my truck channel. The name of it is real easy. It's you go to @ symbol, and it's at Jason-Samco with a K, Samko, like my last name, Jason-Samco, at Jason-Samco. That's my channel. It's Jason Samco. It's a YouTube channel. I made the name simple so it matches Samco Tradbull, so they're easy to keep them together. But on there, you will see all these deals videos. For example, Wranglers right now, $18,000 off. Silverados, you want a brand new Silverado, $17,000 off. F-150s, $18,000 off F-150s for 2024. Toyota Tundras, $10,000 off. So these are the numbers that we're seeing. $8,000 off of Colorados, $7,000 off of Rangers. So any of this kind of stuff you're looking for, the deals are there now. So you want to take advantage of it, because in 2024, you got more vehicle for the money and for the package designation. An XLT in 2024 got you more than an XLT will in 2025. Okay, that's the stuff we're getting at. These games that manufacturers, especially Toyota and Ford, are playing, you're getting way more for your money with, per package in 24 than you will in 25. And with the amount of these vehicles that are actually on the dealer lots right now, and the way that they're willing to negotiate them is huge. Now, this will never happen again because manufacturers got a taste of what they liked in the pandemic. Okay, manufacturers like it when they only have about a 30-day supply of inventory. Means that the customers really never get to pick, basically a dealership lot has enough vehicles to let you take a look at one and then test drive one, but you really got to wait to buy it through allocation or order it or wait for it to come in before you get one, and that's the way they like it. Because the demand is high and they sell them at MSRP or even dealer markup. Okay, that's the way all dealers and manufacturers like it to be. They love it. They make less cars. They get more profit per car. They make more money overall than they do if they build a ton of them and don't sell them all. And then at the end of the year like this, they have to rebate them, negotiate them on them. Dealers have to pay long-term floor plan leasing prices on them. They got to do all this stuff, and it costs them money. They do not like this scenario. And they did not want to create this scenario. They created it because they assumed we were going to keep buying like we've been doing for the last couple of years, despite the high interest rates, despite all this stuff, with all the problems. They thought we as consumers were dumb enough to keep buying and buying and buying, and we were just going to keep going, but we hit that wall. Bam! We hit that wall, and we hit that wall this summer, and we stopped buying, and nobody's buying, and everything's shut down, and now these manufacturers got all these vehicles stuck on the lots, and they got to move them. Now, Jeep and Ford and Toyota and Chevy, okay, so pretty much all of them, except for Ram trucks, but pretty much all of them have said, we will not make production for 2025 vehicles until most of the 2024s are sold. They're like, we're not doing this. We're not playing this game again. Okay, we didn't expect it to get like it is right now where there's 3 million vehicles available. We did not want this. And it happened, and we're not going to produce vehicles. We're going to do layoffs. Nissan just laid off 9,000 people. Stellantis laid off thousands of them. Ford laid off. They're like, no, we'll shut down production. We'll stop making cars until the people buy up the inventory that's there. Then we'll go back to going lower day supply. We won't make this mistake again. We want people paying MSRP, and we want them waiting for a week to a month to get their vehicle so we know where everything stands. The days of us making these and keeping them on the lots for everybody to go pick the one of 50 that you want to take home in the color you want, we don't like that. That's not profitable for us. We don't want you to have that. Okay, so they're not going to give it to you. And even worse is Toyota with their BS. God, Toyota is the one company I hate more than any other company. Okay, just who they are as a company is horrible, and how they treat their customers is horrible, but Toyota is allocation only. Toyota has this cool online configurator where you can go and build a Toyota of your dreams and make it and all that stuff, and then you're going to go to a dealership with your printout, and you're going to say, hey, I want to order this. They're going to tell you, Toyota hasn't been able to order cars in years. You don't get to order them. You get what they tell us is coming in on a truck. We find out every couple weeks what's coming, and you get to pick from that. If you don't like it, tough crap. And whatever it comes with, that's what you get it with. It's the way it is. Toyota doesn't let you order anything. Toyota says we build what we want to build, and you take it or you don't. And you pay top dollar for it. I can't stand Toyota as a company, what they do. And I own Toyotas. But like I said, as a company, they're the most anti-customer company in the world. These other ones are going that way as well, too. It creates this perfect scenario, though, right now, where you could go buy a 2024, get an insane deal on it, and then when it's time to get rid of it, if you're 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 years from now, whatever the case is, when they're no longer playing these games and everybody's focusing back on MSRPs, you will have tremendous value built up in your vehicle because you bought a Silverado or an F-150 for 15 or 17 grand off, and yet it's worth all that money because 5 years from now, everybody's paying MSRP or MSRP minus $1,500 or something like that, and yet you got 17 or 15 grand off of yours. There has never been, and since the pandemic started, never been a better time than right now to buy a new truck. And we do not know what the way the volatility is and the greed of manufacturers and dealers alike, and how the system is worked, and what their goal is of limited day supply, limited availability, and never having to run these rebates and do this because the supply is not there. We may never see this again. So it benefits you right now 2 ways. 1, the amazing deal. 2, the amazing resale value that you gain later down the road because you did get such a good deal on it. There's a lot of power in what we have happening here. Now, how do you get these deals? How do you make this stuff happen here? So just because I put out a video that says you can get 17 grand off a Silverado or off an F-150, does that mean that you just walk in and say, hey, I saw a video said I can get $17,000 off this truck. Where do I write to, who do I make the check out to? And let's sign the paper, get this done. I got things to do. It doesn't really happen that way. You have to learn to negotiate. And I'm even on my truck channel when I say it. So you'd be amazed how many people chime in the comments. Half the comments are people saying, this is stupid. You could never get those kind of deals. These kind of deals don't exist here. Never see that kind of stuff here. This guy doesn't know what he's talking about. And then the other half of comments are going, yeah, I got $21,000 off on my Gladiator. I got $16,000 off on my F-150. I just bought a new Silverado, got $14,700 off. So listen, here's how you do this. Learn to negotiate. That's what it boils down to. You have to learn to negotiate. If you want to know exactly how I do it and how my tactics that I use, I have a course on it. I'm not pushing the course. I made the course 5 years ago. It's still relevant today, but I'm not updating it. I'm not even, like I said, it's there if you want it. It's on my website, tbwpodcast.com. It's called the Save Thousands course. It's the same one. It's always been there. But, in the last 5 years, it's exactly how I do it today. You don't have to do that. You can also just go on YouTube and spend a weekend, 6, 8, 10 hours and watch negotiation videos that are put out there by a lot of people. Kevin, the Homework guy's got a bunch of good ones, but watch these and learn. But you have to understand market value. You have to understand buy rate versus sell rate. You have to understand how many days the vehicle's been on a lot, what competitors or what we use the word comparables are in the local area around there, as well as comparables out across state lines. You got to look at the numbers that are there. You got to learn to research and do the negotiations, what dealers are going to say to you, what they're going to say when you say, I want this, and what their response is going to be and how you need to counteract that. You're going to need to know this stuff, okay? Remember, it's not meant to be easy. And you buy a car once every 3, 4, 5, 10, 15 years. The sales guy and the finance guy, who I rarely ever deal with the sales guy anymore. Usually he just answers the phone. I tell him what I want to do, and the first thing he says is, let me get you to my manager. So usually I don't even talk to the sales guys. But, they're the one that hand me the keys and walk through the car with me. That's basically it. But the sales guy and the finance manager, these guys do this every day for a living multiple times a day. So don't think that that it's a pushover easy. But these deals are there, and they are very good, and they are very reasonable. And even if you don't want to learn how to negotiate, you still can get a pretty good discount of at least 10% right now. Okay, but you should be pushing for much more because there's much more available to you. So take advantage of it. If you're on the fence about buying a new car, you're like, maybe I'll wait 6 months and get one then. I don't think it's a wise decision. I think the smartest time to buy is right now, between now and Christmas Day. I think is the smartest time you can buy a new truck if you need a new one. Do with it as you will with the information, whatever you want. It is my thoughts, my opinion, as somebody who, like I said, now makes a living. This hunting channel is a great channel, and I love this stuff. This is where everything is for me. This is where I got started. This is my whole thing. But this channel here, financially wise, this thing is like not even a third of that truck channel is what pays my bills because it gets way more views per video. It's a bigger audience, and it crushes this channel, blows it out of the door. So technically speaking, for the last year, trucks are what I do for a living. Every single minute is trucks. 3 videos a day, every single day. That's also why it makes me a lot more money, but compared to the one video I put out I put out like somewhere between 2 to 6 videos a week for this channel. That one I'm putting out literally 20 videos a week, but it's like I said, I'm telling you, I'm not pulling this stuff out of my hat. If you've been following this channel for a while, for the last 12 years, 13 years, I have been telling you about trucks and truck deals and how to do it right and all this kind of stuff. And I'm telling you that, in my opinion, based on all these facts, you're not going to find a better time, at least in the next year or two, minimum year or two, to buy a truck better than you are in this next month. Okay, from now till January. And if you hold off till even after January, you might still find some carryovers. There are some good deals, but the manufacturers are playing a dirty game now. Okay, yes, they stockpiled the inventory. They did not want it to be, but inventory stockpiled because we stopped buying. But rather than them say, oh, okay, well, we'll just discount those. Let's get these 25s out. We got stuff to do, like they normally would, manufacturers have said, no, we are not going to do that. We are going to hold the 2025s, and we are not going to produce them until they get rid of this massive amount of 2024s. So if you wait till January thinking you're going to get a better deal on a holdover, by then, most of them will have already been sold, and the deals you get will not be like they are right now. You have a small window of now till Christmas, in my opinion, or till January 31st, to pull this off and get that absolute best deal. My thoughts. Do with it as you please. Hopefully it helps some of you guys out. Some of you guys won't even care for this podcast. That's completely up to you and whatever you want to do with it. But anyway, thought I'd put it out there for you. We'll be back with your normal hunting stuff coming up for you soon. I got a lot of neat things in the works. A lot of neat things coming down the pipeline. So, all right, talk to you soon.